Hello and welcome to Intuitive Psychology, the podcast. I am one of your hosts, Sarah Gregg, and I am joined here with my co-founder, friend, co-host, all-round superstar, intuitive genius, Jill Ritchie.
There we go. It's an intro. I'll pay you later, Sarah. I'll pay you later for that intro. Right, we are going to have a really short, snappy episode today, but it's going to be full with insights, advice, support and wisdom. We put a Q&A out on Instagram and we said, ask us anything. It was very tame. Very tame. We can't answer all of them, so we've picked three. We've picked three to answer because we want to keep these episodes engaging. We know people lose concentration and we don't want to lose you, right? So we've picked the three that we could answer today. Right, Sarah, do you want to start with the first question that came through?
Okay, so this person writes, "Hi, current coach here. I love listening to you guys." Thanks very much. Brownie points already. "I love listening to you guys and it sounds like you help your coaches go deep with clients. I don't have the confidence to do this. Advice, please."
Train me intuitive psychology. Come and train with us. Seriously, but before we go into that, actually, I want to ask you about to think about your you say you don't have the confidence to go deep. First of all, that's really normal, and think about what you mean by deep, right? Also, my question would probably be to you and to anyone else that kind of resonates with that question: how deep have you gone with yourself? I think I'm not saying that you need, no one needs to be the polished, finished article. If you are a listener, which you say you are to us, we will always say there's always layers and you can learn as you grow, and we all do. Sometimes that is just a story that we tell ourselves. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. But what I would say is things can come up with clients in sessions. And so for me, it sounds like it's more of a confidence thing rather than an ability to do it. And of course, if you, number one, haven't done any level of deeper work on yourself, like a deeper sort of elements of shadow work, sitting with your own discomfort and understanding that from a personal level, we can sometimes lack confidence in actually being able to hold that space for someone else. Sarah, you've said this before. What we avoid in ourselves, we avoid in our clients. So my question probably for this person is to think about, and again, there's no judgment, what level of work have you done on yourself? Because I know my confidence came from, number one, training is very, very important, but really understanding myself and my capacity. And the deeper I went, the deeper capacity I had to go with other people.
Yeah, I think we know a lot of coaches kind of will resonate with this question for sure, because clients are so much more aware than they were before. So I've been in the coaching industry for a very long time now, and clients before didn't have access to the resources that they did, 10 years ago. Like the self-help kind of industry, the level of client awareness is huge now. Clients will understand what trauma is, what their levels of trauma are. They'll understand inner child. They will already probably be practicing multiple modalities before they come to you typically. And they have a desire to go deeper with themselves. And so I think if you're noticing this need in your business and you have that desire, it sounds like, just based on the question that you've written, I'd love if the person was here because then we could just coach them through it, but maybe that's a different episode. But it sounds like if you're writing that question, there is an element of awareness that you have evolved and changed, that you can see that there is more to the client. And I love that you're asking this question, because what it tells me about you without knowing you is that you're a deeply ethical coach, and you want to make sure that you do the right thing and not kind of go in with a bulldog approach of, okay, I'm going to go deep, and it's an egotistical thing of I'll take the client to the depths where they haven't gone, and I'm going to ask the uncomfortable questions, and to do that without a framework and without training. And I think confidence definitely comes from the embodiment, like that's a huge piece. It's why we weave peer coaching into our training. So our coaches are continually coached and trained over like those 6 months. But as well, confidence comes with expertise. Like confidence comes whenever you really deeply understand, like, this is my area where I am still in coaching as a distinct profession. And actually this is something that is outside that scope. This is something that requires, you know, a health service, a different professional, and to signpost out. So I think great question.
Yeah.
If you do want to go deep with clients, it requires skill and it requires training and it requires going deeper.
But find the right training provider. Honestly, again, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. There's a lot of noise. We've said this before. There is a lot out there. Really trust your gut. We've had a lot of people, even in this cohort, that have went to just literally to sign on the dotted line with another coaching organisation, two from the same one, which was so funny, within a week of each other. They were like, I've just about to sign with X company, and something was just in my gut was like, no. And then I found you guys and we were like, listen, we won't ever speak badly.
We would never speak badly of any, you know, each training provider has its own unique essence. You know, it's like there's a million different brands to shop from, like on a high street, and some people you'll really resonate with their brand and the way that they communicate, and this is no different. We're not pitting like brands off each other saying we're better than the others. We are saying if it resonates with you, if you know that you want to go deeper, maybe you're even a new coach kind of listening to this and you're thinking, I want to go into coaching, but I just don't want to do kind of like action plans and surface level stuff, and that doesn't feel like you, then don't go to a training provider who that's for. So great that you want to go deep with a client. Great that it sounds like you're ready for that. Just make sure that you wrap the right level of expertise and embodiment around it so that you can feel that deep sense of confidence.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, I've got another one here. This other question. With the rise of money-focused posts and self-promotion in the coaching industry, now this came through Instagram, so this is obviously talking about social media, are we losing the authenticity and deeper purpose of coaching? How can clients tell who's a really, truly powerful coach and who's just good at marketing themselves?
So there's a lot to unpack
there is, and that's an episode in itself.
It is an episode in itself.
But let's try and keep it succinct. So there's a couple of questions in here, right? So money focused posts. So I'm assuming this is like earn X amount of money, and we've seen this. This is coaches, like sales coaches, who are very, very good marketers, who will say, you know, my client earned, with a slight tweak in their marketing, they earned 100K this month. They're not different from you. It's very clever, the wording. So are we losing authenticity and deeper purpose of coaching? If I'm honest, there's two things to this. As the voices of authentic people and with a purpose and mission getting lost on Instagram, probably, and we have done an episode on this. That's why we're very keen to support people in exploring other ways of building their business, which is getting out and connecting with people and building community, because it's never it's always kind of collaboration over competition, and everyone that comes and trains with us is so unique. They're all very different, although they're trained in intuitive psychology. Each one of them is so different, so different, because our training allows that person to access their authenticity, their intuition, which is as unique as your thumbprint. So when they really access the training, yes, it's the same training, but their intuition is different, their authenticity is different. We take people back to authenticity. So when they start to then build their business, it's very different from the next intuitive psychology coach. So I think the answer to that is, yes, it can be lost on Instagram. So my question to you is, how else can you build your business?
Yeah, I also have a question. My bit would be perception is reality. So these aren't just randomly jumping up on any of our feeds. You know, they're coming up on our feed because we are curious about them and because we're following people who promote it. So if you when you're bombarded with that, that does become your perception. So unfollow those people.
Agreed.
If it's not resonating, get that out of your field of awareness. Make sure that your feed on Instagram is personally curated for you. Follow people who are in their authenticity. Follow people who are like in alignment with the values that you hold and share. And all of a sudden your reality will shift and change because you won't be in an energetic engagement with them. And I think sometimes we can almost stay locked in it because we're getting frustrated, and you know, we're almost like, we kind of get addicted to the little kind of like anger, little outrage. We're also curious because we don't want to miss out, right? Well, what if I do just change that one word? What if I do just write the perfect hook? Do you know, so we're kind of scared of missing out. So I would say put your stake in the ground and just go, I'm not having this, so I'm just going to unfollow. I'm going to unfollow. I'm going to tell when the algorithm presents me with something, I'm going to let it know, hide from my feed, and I'm going to protect my energy in that way. And I think that that's really important. And I do. I think that platform is ultimately designed to keep you on it, to flick through, to scroll, and it is not in any way designed to hold your attention. Things like podcasts, blogs, newsletters, in-person events are all designed. Our brains are switching to a different mode. Do you know, they're activated to know, like when I listen to a podcast, I've got my headphones in, I'm walking, I'm driving, but I know for that period of time,
you've got me.
You've got me. I'm here to listen. You have me on Instagram. You've got about 3 seconds with me, mate, before I'm off on something else.
And that's us.
And that's me.
I know.
And I'm good. I focus on my attention, but I do that. If I do that, you do that, everyone else does it, then why are you trying to why are like you, all of us, like we're all guilty of it, pouring our energy in. So where can you hold like someone's attention? Like if your message is, and how can you let your feed be flooded with purpose-driven coaches?
Yeah. The other part she said to this is, how can clients tell who's a truly powerful coach and who's just good at marketing themselves? Like anyone that oh God, there's so many ways I could answer this. See, if it's too good to be true, it usually is.
Yeah.
Then just go with your gut. Go with your gut. People are brilliant marketers. See if there's just like, just down this.
I'm going to rhyme off a load of stuff as well. As well.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. If they have screenshots that they could have doctored themselves of like, you know, random kind of WhatsApp messages or messages on Instagram that don't have placement or context, red flag. You want video testimonials. So we do this with ours because we do this with ours because it's important to us that actually people speak the truth. Do you know? So do you have video testimonials that have your clients talk about the experience that they had? Like, do you have that? Are your clients willing to do that in some capacity?
And do you know what would be good? These people that are really good at marketing, if they're like, oh, like these are all the people that I've helped, DM that person and say, do you mind if I reach out to this person? And like, we would never mind. Like if someone said, oh, do you mind if I contact one of your coaches?
A lot of our coaches, they are tortured by people.
They are, but people do. But that's the thing. Like, don't be afraid or don't feel gaslit into being like, that's great, but do you mind if I reach out to a couple of them just to speak to them? Anyone that is really worth their salt won't mind. I get like, they might say client confidentiality, etc., I get that, but really question it.
Word of mouth, like we know the majority of ours. Sorry, I'm going to ask like a question mid-podcast, but I just want to clarify, is this how to trust marketing coaches or how clients can trust coaches?
How can clients tell who's a truly powerful coach and who's just good at marketing? Okay,
great. Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure. So yes. So I would also say who's a truly powerful coach, an accreditation. Like if that person has an accreditation as a coach, then then you can tell that they've been vetted. That's why we're an accredited training provider, because our coaches have gone through training. They haven't just signed themselves off. We as experts have observed every single one of our coaches. So clients can tell if you're accredited. Clients can tell if you have video testimonials. Clients can tell if you are willing to take the time to have a discovery call with them.
Oh yeah, not like someone's just sent me 20 grand and I just sold to them in the DMs.
Yeah.
To me, honestly, that's a red flag. Why would you take £20,000 off someone without even speaking to them? We never, ever bring anyone into our master intuitive psychology coach training without speaking to them, ever. And it's nowhere near £20,000, let me tell you. Nothing like it. And it's a 6-month accreditation. They're also coached for 6 months. We would never take someone's money without having a discovery call with them.
And if someone is willing to take your money and to almost kind of make you feel lesser than for asking for a call and making you feel like, you are taking up too much of their time and you should just trust them and all of this, that's a massive red flag.
That's the clever marketing. But it's not that clever, right? Because when they go, this person signed up, no sales calls, all in the DMs, red flag. Red flag to me, because I'm like, what they're trying to do is to you, almost say to you without saying it to you.
That's
what I want you to do. So you can sign up to me without asking me for a sales call because everyone else has done it. And what it does is then it makes you think, well, I don't need to then do sales calls and people will do. Is that how you really want to do business? Do you?
I know.
Really?
Do you not want to screen your client before you start working with them? Do you not want to make sure that they're a right fit? Do you not want to make sure that your client understands how you work? So if you're a client out there and you're listening and you're like, do you know what? Like, how do I know the basics? Like, is the coach open and transparent? Who have they trained with? What's their experience? Do their values sit in alignment with you? Is there open and transparent pricing? Is it really clear what you're going to get from them? Like, how up to date is their training? Who have they worked with in the past? How have they helped other people? What type of results do they get? And I think the more that you can also communicate that as a coach, like the more that you can really have that openness and transparency, then the better.
Just one last thing, because we're going to go into the next question, but see the confidentiality thing. Like if they do say, client confidentiality, now I get for some ways there is, but see when a great coach has worked with someone and they've given them a testimonial, they're quite happy to speak to someone else. Like they're happy to speak to you. To me, it's like these people that are like, if they're working especially with a marketer or a salesperson, they want to brag. They want to talk about what they're doing. So they'd be happy to speak to you. Or even if you DM them and they messaged you back. So just trust your gut. Honestly, trust your gut on this because it'll be right. Your way is the right way. So please trust it. Right. Final question, Sarah.
Okay, final question. Okay. Panic pressure's on. If you're not watching this on the video, I'm currently like flicking through my phone and actually this kind of links into the last question, so
we've maybe answered it.
We've probably answered a lot of it. So this person is thinking about working with a coach but says honestly that they are really scared. They are just ready to feel free, to kind of like not waste their life, just be happy. There's an awareness of that there's stuff, as this person puts it, from their past, but doesn't really want to go there. Like advice on, do I really need to go into my past stuff whenever I'm working with a coach? Thoughts?
It's up to you, really. It's a choice. But what I would say to you is, why do you fear your past? That's quite a loaded question. Let me rephrase that. Your past is part of you. It is not separate from you. It's part of you. And actually, when we can reframe that to curiosity, there's a reason that you want to change. And I would bet that it's something that's causing it from your past. So unless we look back, I want to just say, you don't need to live in it. People are so scared of going back to the past. And listen, there are some people that have experienced extreme trauma, and I'm going to not talk to that right now. I'm going to talk to people that have maybe trauma with a small t. And even if you have experienced trauma and you've maybe worked through it, sometimes it's just going back to go forward. And the aim with great coaching is to always bring you forward. But if you try and talk over that or ignore it, it's stored in your body. It is there. It's there already. So we can go super gentle. We take time with this. We spend a lot of time regulating the nervous system. So I would just say that to really be free and to move forward and to feel in full alignment and with an open heart and being able to communicate your needs, you first need to understand why you can't do that. And that does require a level of going back with the aim to move forward. And the whole thing here is, as long as you're working with someone that is creating enough safety around that for you, that you're not railroaded into it, you're not pushed into it, it has to be at your pace, but do it, but go with someone who is an expert in this space.
Yeah, I would echo all of that, and then just kind of like wrap a little bit of the science and expertise, which is the past is always present. So even though there is a resistance to explore the past, first of all, when you work with a really great coach, they will make you feel ridiculously safe about the past, and they'll only bring you into the parts of the past that are relevant to help you move forward. It's not about digging through or trudging through every single memory, but it is about this recognition. It's why we work with intuition, because it really works with the unconscious mind. So 95% of kind of who we are by the time we're 35, I think it is stored in the unconscious mind. All of your earliest memories are in the unconscious mind. It's part of the limbic system of the brain. So where all of our emotional kind of like memories, past patterns, behaviors are all there. And actually, until we make the unconscious conscious, the past will just continually repeat out. So, you know, if you're going to invest in a coach, if you're going to go to that effort and you really want to make that change, my invitation to you would be like, do it right. Like just do it right. Like don't waste your time kind of going, getting a quick fix, getting a bit of a hit, and then just kind of to be back in the same cycle. So embrace the discomfort of the journey. Go with a coach who's really skilled in it. You'll be surprised. I have, you know, worked with coaches for a long time. And when I've had excellent coaches who can make me feel really, really safe about the past, it's been the most liberating, beautiful experience. And actually some of my favorite memories are like and experiences are off that time whenever like I process something and I had that aha moment. So just remember, if you're going into the past, like Jill said, it's for a reason. And the whole coaching experience won't just be about that. Like our coaches, for example, we train them in the shadow alchemy coaching method, which really looks at the whole person, past, present, and future. So yes, there will be, if it's relevant to the client, an element of shadow work. But then after that, that's whenever you'll really start to cultivate those new behaviors, new ways of being, alchemize that pain and bring it into the future, and you'll feel like a whole person.
And it's so liberating.
So liberating.
It's so liberating, finally understanding
to be
yourself
your full self
and knowing yourself and feeling safe. That doesn't mean that you never feel triggered or you never feel hurt. You are a human. Like that is just, you know, you're going to feel those things, but understanding yourself, it changes the game of life, and it is. It's amazing. It's so powerful. So we always recommend it, but just make sure that you do it right.
Yes.
You do it right. So that was nice.
Yeah.
Love those questions. Great
Love
questions.
those. Yeah.
Great questions, everybody. Thank you so much. So that is us wrapping up for another episode, and we will be back next week with a brand new episode. Thank you so much,
See
everyone.
you then. Bye.